Good morning, students. Hope all are fine, and let us continue our today's class. So we are discussing chapter 4, organ and organ system in animals. So today part 4. In the previous sessions we discussed about this various system of earthworm. It is one of this invertebrate. Accordingly, the last class we discussed about nervous system of earthworm as well as the excretory system of earthworm, right? And today we are going to discuss about this, the rest of the system of this earthworm, that is male reproductive system as well as the female reproductive system of earthworm and the life cycle of earthworm also. Fine. So first of all, here one of the term is displayed, that is monoecious or hermaphrodite. So what is monoecious or hermaphrodite? Listen. So if the male and female reproductive organs are found in the same organism, that type of these organisms are known as an monoecious type or hermaphrodite. So the figure which is displayed there, we can understand. If you look at there, this male reproductive organ, the major male reproductive organs are testes. For male it is testis and for the female it is ovary. Can you look at there in the segment number 10 and 11, the finger like projection is given, right, with the brown color, that is testis. Two pair of testes is located in this segment number 10 and 11, right? And meanwhile, the segment number 13, the bluish color it is mentioned, is a pair of ovary is present, right? So this is the major reproductive organ of male as well as for female. So both is present in the same organism, right? So those kind of these organisms are known as monoecious type or hermaphrodite type. Fine. Here one more term is displayed, is protandrous. So let us see what do you mean protandrous. Here already we said earthworm, male and female reproductive organs are present in the same organism, right? But even though it do the sexual reproduction. What do you mean sexual reproduction? Two worms will be involved. So why can't this, even the testis and this ovary is present in the same organism? Why should this self-fertilization do not take place? Right? The reason is self-fertilization is avoided because two sex organs mature at different times. So both is present in the same organism only, but the maturity of both these organs will be in different time, right? The sperm develops earlier than the production of ova. So here what happens here? Sperm used to develop earlier than the ovum. So hence self-fertilization is not going on. One worm used to exchange the sperm with another one worm, right? So since this sperm developed earlier than this ova, that process is known as protandrous. Is it clear? And now let us see this structure of this male reproductive system of earthworm, right? So as we said already, earthworms are made up of these segments. Especially we said the segments are metameres, means the same unit is repeated throughout this length of this body, right? Okay. Now let us see the organs of male reproductive system of earthworms, right? And especially what are the organs are involved in this process and which segment it is located. That's all. Fine. Okay. Of course we know the major organ, sex organ for this male reproductive system is testis. Fine. Okay. So this testis is present in the segment number 10th and 11th. Can you watch? The segment number 10 and 11. 10 and 11, can you watch one finger like projection is there, like a fingers? So that is known as testis. Okay. And of course, what is the role of this testis? It will produce sperm cells. Fine. But actually it is not producing directly as a sperm cells. When it is producing this gamete, it is producing as a spermatogonia. Right. So that is the second point given there. Testis is producing spermatogonia. Right. Okay. Then the third point is seminal funnel. Okay. Can you watch along with this and testis? One seminal funnel is given there. Along with the testis, seminal funnel or ciliary rosettes are given. Right. And that role is actually the testis is producing spermatogonia. This spermatogonia will be converted or growing as a spermatozoa in this seminal funnel. Can you watch this seminal funnel? So seminal funnel also attached along with this testis. So testis is producing the gamete. The gamete is actually it is a spermatogonia. The spermatogonia will mature as a spermatozoa in the seminal funnel. Okay. So can you watch this seminal funnels? Okay. Then what is the next region? The next region is vas deferens. Vas deferens means it's a long tube which is arising from the seminal funnel and till the 18th segment it extends. Can you watch vas deferens? From the seminal funnel onwards it starts until the 18th segment it extends. One long tube in both the sides. Can you watch? Okay. So that is known as vas deferens. Okay. Then in the 18th segment, this seminal funnel will, communicate outside through one aperture, one pore. That is known as male genital pore. Have you got? That is known as male genital pore. Where this vas deferens ends, in that region, one pore will be there. It is extending outside. That is known as male genital aperture. Fine? Okay. And in that region, one special setae is there. Usually we said setae, it is responsible for the locomotion of this earthworm. But here the pineal setae is responsible for this copulation with this another one earthworm. Right? And one more gland also associated along with that region, that is known as prostate gland, that also present in the 18th segment. Right? And this prostate gland is secreting some substances. That substances actually it will clump, it will collect all the spermatozoas together as one form, that is known as a spermatophores. So this is because of the secretion of prostate gland. Have we got the points? Right? So this is this major reproductive organs of male earthworm. Clear? And how it collides and how this copulation takes place, that we can see in this next. So this is regarding this female reproductive system of earthworm. The same figure only displayed here, as we said, male and this female reproductive organ is present in the same organism, right? So the same picture is displayed here, and here we are going to focus only about this organs of female reproductive system. Fine. Okay. So what is this major organ for female reproductive system? Of course, it is ovaries. Okay. So the pair of ovaries are present in the segment number 13, which is denoted with one blue color. Right? Okay. Then like seminal funnel, here ovarian funnel is there. So seminal funnel is attached with this testis. The same here, ovaries attached with the funnel like structure. the same along with this ovary with this blue color it is marked, that is known as a oviduct. Fine. So pair of oviduct is there. Clear? So the next one is genital aperture. For male reproductive system also we said as a genital aperture, right? So where this vas deferens opens outside, we said is as male genital aperture. And in case here oviduct opens outside through one pore, that aperture is known as a female genital aperture. So that is located in the segment number 14. Is it clear? So male genital aperture is present in the segment number 18. Is it clear? Okay. Then the next one, and spermatheca are seminal receptacles. So spermatheca is one of this very important region in this reproductive system of this earthworm. So can you watch in the beginning, in the segment number 7, 8 and 9 consist of one pouch-like structure. 3 pairs of pouch-like structure is there, right? So that is known as a seminal receptacles, right? Or spermatheca. This is present in the segment number 7, 8 and 9. Okay. But this opening is present in this between the segments, right? Which means spermatheca opening is present in 6th and 7th, 7 and 8 and 8th and 9th. Okay. So this role is very important. Spermathecal role or seminal receptacle is very important. So means seminal receptacles means seminal means semen. Receptacles means it is going to receive. Okay. So during this copulation process, the two worms come and close each other in opposite direction, where the sperms will be exchanged each other and it will be collected exactly in this spermathecal region. Okay. So that is this role of the spermatheca. The sperm cells will be stored here. The sperm cells will be stored here, which is collected from the partner's worm. Understand? That is the role of this spermatheca, right? And let us see how this copulation occurs first. So this is the process of copulation in earthworms. Can you look at the figure which is given there? And the two earthworms are there. So during copulation, the two earthworms come and close each other in opposite direction, right? And especially the three regions you have to note down here. The first one is spermathecal openings. So just now we said what is the role of spermatheca, right? So spermatheca is present in the segment number 7, 8 as well as 9, right? Okay, the opening is present in the septum region, means between the segments. Clear? And what is the role here? It used to collect the sperms from the partner. Understand? Okay. The next region is the clitoral region. So clitoral region is very important. This is a hard thickening part which is present in this segment number 14 to 17, right? And the role of this clitoral is it used to produce some glandular substances, and with this it produces cocoon, right? So it will produce the cocoons. Then the third part is male genital aperture. So just now we discussed about this male reproductive system. So there we said male genital aperture, right? So actually the testis is present in this two pair of testes is present in the segment numbers 10 and 11, right? From that funnel-like structure arise is known as the seminal vesicles that extend as vas deferens as a long tube. Then it will opens outside as a pore or aperture that is known as a male genital aperture that is present in the segment number 18. Understood? So those things we discussed now in this male reproductive system. Fine. Okay. Now we can come to the point how the copulation occurs. Fine. So the testis will produce the sperm cells. And it will mature, actually it will produce as a spermatogonia, then it will be matured as a sperm cell, spermatozoa, right? Then it will be collected by this funnel-like structure, seminal funnel, and it will come through this vas deferens, that is a long tubule, and it will reach this male genital aperture, which is present in the segment number 18. Okay, so here which is here sperm is there. For both the worms the same process occur. Okay, so when two worms come and close each other, and mutually it will exchange the sperms through the male genital aperture, it will directly transfer it into the spermatical region. So there the sperms will be stored. Have you got the point? So both will be exchanging the sperm cells. Understand? So after exchanging, it will detach each other. It will separate each other, right? Then what will happen after this process? Let us see here. So mutual exchange of sperms occur in two worms. Okay. The second point, gland cells of clitellum produce cocoons. Okay. Then the third point, mature egg cells are deposited in the cocoon. So where from egg cells are collected? It is from the ovary. So pair of ovary we said it is present in the segment number 13, right? So in the segment number 14 only clitellum is there. So from 13 ovary, the ovum is deposited in the cocoon. Cocoon is produced by the clitellum. Understand? Okay. Then the partner sperm cells also collected in the cocoons from the spermatheca. So already we said spermatheca, what is there inside? The sperm cells which is collected from the partner worm, right? So that sperm cells also it will move towards the cocoon now. So already inside the cocoon ova is there. Now sperm cells also reached there. Understand? So when it reaches there, automatically the fertilization takes place, right? So the next point, fertilization and development occurs in the cocoon, right? Inside the cocoon it happens. Then afterwards, cocoons are deposited in the soil. So the cocoons will be left into the soil there, right? Then each cocoon produce new earthworm within 3 weeks. So it releases a lot of cocoons here, and each cocoon will be developed as one earthworm within 3 weeks, right? So this is the copulation process, and like this how this new earthworm will be produced, right? So this is regarding this life cycle of this earthworm, and as we said, first of all we can start it from the cocoon, right? From the cocoon only the new young one will be produced, right? So we can start the life cycle from the cocoon, right? Okay, so from the cocoon young earthworm is produced within 15 days. Around 3 weeks we said, that is within 15 days here they mentioned. And the newly formed earthworm, young earthworm, is known as juvenile. Okay, so from cocoon stage to juvenile phase it takes around 15 days. Okay, then this phase is mentioned as a growth phase. Here the growth process is going on, hence it is known as a growth phase. So this is known as growth phase 1. Okay, so what do you mean growth phase 1? Cocoon to juvenile stage. Okay, then juvenile stage is next, and it is becoming or growing as a non-clitellate form. So clitellum is the important region we said, it is involving in this reproduction process, and juvenile first it becomes as a non-clitellate form. First clitellum will not be there. Okay, so this takes around 15 days. Okay, so we can say as growth phase 1, right? Then this non-clitellate form, again it will produce this clitellum, so it takes around 17 days. Clear? So that phase is known as a growth phase 2 actually. So non-clitellum is producing as a clitellum, so that phase is a growth phase 2. Okay, so it takes around 17 days. Clear? Then after producing the clitellum, it started to copulate. Mating process used to go on. So that phase they said it is a reproductive period. First 2 phase we said growth phase, and the third is said as a reproductive period. Okay, after clitellum is forming, it is going for reproduction process, then it will produce the cocoon. As we said, now the mating process will be happening and it will detach, then the cocoon will be produced and the cocoon is left into the soil, and about 15 days or 10 days it will take to become as a new young one again. Understand? So this is the life cycle of this earthworm. So overall it takes about 60 days, not exactly 60 days, about 60 days it will take to complete one life cycle, right? So these phases again we can divide this life cycle, again it is divided as a phases. Let us see. So overall 3 phases is there for this life cycle of this earthworm, that is growth phase 1, growth phase 2 as well as reproductive phase. Okay, so growth phase 1, what happens? The fertilized egg inside the cocoon, so the fertilized egg is there and it will become as a non-clitellate form. So that takes known as a growth phase 1. Okay, then the next growth phase 2, what takes place there? Non-clitellate form is becoming as a clitellate form. Okay, so that is known as growth phase 2. And the reproductive phase, what happens here? The copulation process takes place, then it will shed the cocoon in the soil, then the cocoon will become as a juvenile. Understood? So this is the 3 phases which is involved in this life cycle of this earthworm, right? So hope we can complete it here, because this details regarding all the systems regarding this earthworms we have completed now. So we can conclude the today's class here. Fine. And let us go on some assignments about today's class. And the first question is, what is protandrous? As we said already, the sperm cells produce earlier than the ova. That is known as protandrous. Okay. Then why self-fertilization is prevented in earthworm? The same process. The question will be asked in two manner. What is protandrous also will be asked, or why self-fertilization is prevented? Because the reproductive organs used to mature in two different times. Of course, the sperm cells mature earlier than the ovum. That's why the self-fertilization is prevented and this sexual reproduction takes place. Fine. Then the question, 5-mark question again. Explain the male reproductive system of earthworm with a diagram. So you have to give the diagram. Of course, the same diagram you can give for both male and female. The second question, explain this female reproductive system of earthworm with the diagram. So here also you could give the same diagram. Fine. Then how reproduction copulation occur in earthworms? How copulation occur in earthworms? Fine. So this also you can actually it is given as a separate paragraph or second line that you can go on, right? Then explain about the phases of life cycle in earthworm. So either it will be asked as a 5-mark or 3-mark also will be asked. Fine. And please go through this one and collect the notes from this pages which we are sending. Take this and pages and collect the answers and write it in the note, and please go on this one. Fine. So in the next class we can meet with this another one, invertebrate. So until that, please go on this one and stay at home and pray very well. Fine. Thank you.